Okay, so let's talk about this comment. I've gotten similar comments to this. Sometimes they're in good faith like this. Sometimes they're more like sour grapes, like, oh, you'll never be able to use that in a song. What's the point? Things like that. Now, the point to studying a polyrhythm is not necessarily to play it in a gig or in a musical context. It's the idea of, say, an athlete, say a basketball player, right? Why do they go to the gym? It's not like they're going to be sitting on the basketball court bench pressing dumbbells, right? Or doing pull-ups. They do that so when they're in the game, the musculature is there, right? The strength and balance is there. It's the same thing with studying anything at a high level. So for drums, studying polyrhythms at an advanced level is just studying rhythm at a high level. And the key is understanding that we're talking about rhythm. So we're talking about notes. So you're not necessarily playing something like a 7/4 throughout the entire song. You know, it's just like a rhythm, like 16th notes or 8th notes or triplets or anything like that. It might happen fleeting for a minute. You know, you could be playing something like... Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're doing... And there's your 7/4 happening right there, right? You see that? So I'm doing 4 on the floor, then... The thing that rhythm does for you when you're playing is it gives you this feeling of elasticity, of stretching. From a simple place, like if I'm just playing like this, right, and say these are 16th notes, right? If I make those into 8th note triplets, and I just go 1 and 2 and see how that kind of brings the flow of the hi-hat slower? So a lot of great drummers use stuff like this to make it sound elastic, like they're stretching. And polyrhythms like a 7/4 is just kind of getting in between that. So a 7/4 is actually one number away from an 8/4, right? So an 8/4 would be like playing, and a 7/4 is a little bit slower than that. And that's the way you got to think about it. So it's just playing that feeling a little bit slower than what you're doing. And if you could do it right off the cuff, you get that really cool rhythmic dissonance and then resolution.